So it looks like we're getting a Shanna the She Devil, as Hasbro released it yesterday on their X page. But I gotta say, I don't think that's it. There's no way this isn't part of a wave. And could this be the first Build-A-Figure reveal of this year? Some characters I think we'd likely see in this wave, based off of just what I've seen from Hasbro's behavior since I started collecting. They like to save a lot, a lot of reuse, and yeah, I think this is what a lot of this is going to be. Uh, so with Avengers Doomsday coming out next year, it'd be a good time for them to release another infamous Iron Man. Uh, it's a fairly old figure, 5 or 6 years at this point. It's a popular character. This could be the good point to put in as the character without a Build-A-Figure part, because he would sell like crazy. As long as they do a better job than what they did with the Superior Iron Man last year. So then to round out for the Build-A-Figure, I think much like how we got Wolfsbane last year, as much as people didn't like that figure because it's a little lackluster. I think we'll get Feral, almost an identical reuse of that with minor changes, because save money. Uh, Another character I think we likely could see is Wiccan. Wouldn't be too much new tooling they would have to do. I'm pretty sure they can reuse mostly everything and it's a fan favorite character that's been recently introduced in the MCU, and Young Avengers. People love Young Avengers. This is a character people have wanted, so that's definitely something I could see them doing. Another easy reuse that I think would sell, and also in the sense of let's make people upset. Strife. Uh, the only current Strife is in a 5-pack. They like to reissue those characters in those packs, like the Mojo characters. Just like make them slightly different. So he would likely come with an accessory of some sort and probably a unmasked head, probably the exact same one that came with Cable. It's clones. Spoiler. Okay, so two more. So I think this would be a good point to throw in something like Swordsman. He's an older Avenger character. They haven't done an upgrade of one of them in a long time. People want it, and I'm sure he'd be easy to do. Wouldn't require much tooling, if any, that isn't already done. And for the last figure, it's actually going to be on both lists, and that is Karl Lykos himself, because it would literally just be a new head sculpt, and they probably wouldn't even give him the spear. They'd give him the dagger that came with Kazar, and that's it. And people would be like, oh, a lot of people complain because it's a plain figure with a lot of reuse, but they'll buy it because they'll get their Sauron, and then they'll have both forms. And maybe people won't even complain, because I'm sure there's lots of people that bought a second Kazar and got another head to make their own Karl Lykos anyways. So yeah, so on to the second list, which everything on this list is going to be Savage Lands related. So we already know Shanna, and we already know Karl Lykos. So I think another easy dub is just throwing that Savage Lands Rogue. It'll be on the same body as Shauna's on, with a head sculpt, some additional hands done, and a Build-A-Figure part, and people will buy it and they'll love it. And to go with that, Savage Lands Magneto. They would have to probably sculpt a new torn male chest plate with damaged, but they'll reuse that. They'll use that for tons of people, I'm sure. Like, he's got a build that I'm sure a lot of people can use for a ripped uniform. So yeah, so 3 more figures to go. Oh, and Magneto would be the one that would be without a Build-A-Figure piece. So you could throw in some like other extra accessories, and plus all the tooling would go into him. Essentially for this line that hasn't already gone into Shauna. This one is probably the least likely, but it is who I felt would involve the least tooling among the Savage Lands mutates, and I think they would need to include one mutate. So I'm going to go with Brainchild. I think they could probably, there was a leader a while back, they could probably use some of that tooling. Or maybe they just need to use the new head. I don't know. Said he all the mutates seem like they would take a lot of tooling for what they are, which is why I think I don't even know if we'd ever actually get them. But yeah, and now two more figures left, with one of them being Zala. Now, if you don't know who she is Laura Dane's half sister, presumably. Takes her powers in this when she has control of the Savage Land mutates, and then she's who Magneto and Rogue are fighting in that story arc. So it almost involves everyone in that story, and she would be a very easy figure to do because they just reuse a lot of parts they already have in Bingo Bango. And now the last figure is almost a complete reuse. You'd probably actually use the same torn torso I'm talking about with Magneto, and then the rest of it would be from a figure they got in a 3-pack, and that would be a Savage Land's Nick Fury. Oh, and would people be upset about that? And that's why I think they would do it. Because people would be like, oh, a Savage Lands wave, yeah. And then they'd be like, we got a Nick Fury. What? What are you doing, Hasbro? And then you have to buy them to get your Build-A-Figure to build Sauron. See, it just feels like a Hasbro move. Do I want a Savage Land Nick Fury? Heck no. I don't want a normal Nick Fury. And that's why I think they would do it. But yeah, so yeah, those are my thoughts and my ideas of what they could do. And I do think a wave's coming. This is going to be connected to a wave. I think we'll get an announcement for Pulse before the end of the month, a fan stream, and I think that's where they're going to reveal this and the wave connect to it. And again, I believe it's going to be built to the wave. Whether it's Sauron or not, I don't know. That's just my only guess. It's unless it's something way left field. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, maybe check out some of my other videos. I actually recently talked about Build-A-Figures and deluxes and my thoughts on that. Maybe check that out. Have a great